You wake up every morning with two invisible forces pulling at you. One is comfort, the other is growth. Comfort feels natural. It asks for nothing. It tells you to stay the same, to repeat yesterday, to avoid friction, to protect your energy. Growth feels different. It is quiet but demanding. It does not shout. It does not beg. It simply waits and keeps waiting until you decide to meet it. Most people believe their future is decided by motivation, by talent, by luck, by timing, but none of those are the real drivers. Your future is decided by what you repeatedly do when no one is watching. Not on your best days, not when you feel inspired, but on your most ordinary days. The days where nothing dramatic happens, the days that feel forgettable, the days where your mind says, it doesn't matter today. Those are the days that build your identity. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You sink to the level of your systems. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you are becoming. Every excuse you accept is also a vote. And over time, those votes compound into a reputation, not the reputation others see. The one you live with, the reputation you carry inside. Most people try to change their lives by changing their emotions. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel disciplined. But discipline is not a feeling. It is a structure. Confidence is not a mood. It is a memory. It is the memory of keeping promises to yourself. When you break promises to yourself, you weaken trust with the only person you can never escape, you. And when you keep them, even small ones, something shifts internally. Your mind begins to see you as reliable. Your identity starts to change, not in words, in behavior. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop debating every decision. You stop asking how you feel and start asking what needs to be done. This is how self-respect is built, not through affirmations, not through positive thinking, but through evidence. Evidence created by repeated action. The world does not reward intention. It rewards consistency. You can want growth for years and remain exactly where you started. Or you can take boring, uncomfortable actions for months and completely transform your direction. The difference is not intelligence. It is tolerance for discomfort. Every meaningful life is built on the ability to sit inside resistance without escaping it, to stay focused when your mind wants distraction, to stay disciplined when your emotions want relief, to stay patient when your ego wants results. This is why time is the most misunderstood resource. People think they waste time on social media, on distractions, on unimportant tasks. But the real waste of time is not in minutes. It is in momentum. Every time you break your own routine, you reset your progress. Every time you skip what you said you would do, you train your brain to stop taking you seriously. And the brain learns fast. It learns what you tolerate. It learns what you avoid. It learns what you delay. Soon your identity becomes built around delay, not failure. Delay. You know what you should do. You simply don't do it. That gap is where most lives collapse. Not because of a lack of opportunity, but because of a lack of internal authority. You cannot lead a life you cannot lead yourself. And self-leadership is not loud. It is silent. It happens in private moments, in small decisions, in routines that look insignificant from the outside. But these routines create internal gravity. They pull your future toward you, or push it further away. Most people want transformation without friction. They want results without tension. They want growth without sacrifice. But growth is pressure. It is the pressure of staying when leaving feels easier. The pressure of continuing when stopping feels logical. The pressure of acting without emotional permission. Pressure is not your enemy. It is your training environment. Just like muscles need resistance to grow, your character needs friction to evolve. Without pressure, nothing changes. You remain the same person with new information. And information without action becomes noise. You read more, you watch more, you learn more, but you move less. Knowledge accumulates. Identity does not. Identity only changes through behavior, through the repeated act of choosing the harder option when the easier one is available. That is the real definition of discipline. Not control, not restriction, but choice. The ability to choose what serves your long-term self over what satisfies your short-term self. Every day you are in conversation with two versions of yourself, the one you are now and the one you could become. The present self wants comfort. The future self wants investment. The present self wants relief. The future self wants progress. And the voice that wins becomes your destiny. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, gradual way. One skipped session, one delayed project, one broken routine. Nothing seems dangerous until years pass, and you realize you are living inside the consequences of small decisions you never took seriously. This is why discipline feels boring. It does not create emotional highs. It creates stability. It creates reliability. It creates momentum. It turns chaos into structure. It turns confusion into clarity. Not instantly, but inevitably. The person who wins is rarely the most talented. They are the most predictable. They show up. They execute. They repeat. While others experiment with motivation, they build systems. While others wait for perfect conditions, they move inside imperfect ones. While others negotiate with feelings, they operate on principles. And over time, their results look like luck. But nothing about it was accidental. It was engineered through habits. Habits shape attention. Attention shapes perception. Perception shapes identity. And identity shapes destiny. Most people try to change their destiny directly. They set big goals. They visualize outcomes. They dream in detail. But they ignore the mechanism that actually creates results. Daily behavior, the smallest unit of success, is not achievement. It is alignment. Alignment between what you say matters and what you actually do. When those two are disconnected, your mind becomes fragmented. You feel busy but unfulfilled. You feel informed but powerless. You feel capable but stuck. When they align, something stabilizes inside you. You trust yourself. You move with less friction. You stop needing external validation. Your progress becomes internal before it becomes visible. And that is the most dangerous form of growth, because it does not depend on anyone else. It does not wait for permission. It does not require applause. It does not collapse when no one is watching. It becomes self-sustaining. This is the moment where discipline stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like identity. You no longer try to be consistent. You see yourself as someone who is consistent. You no longer chase focus. You remove what breaks it. You no longer seek motivation. You build environments that make action automatic. This is how real transformation works. Not through intensity, but through design. Designing your time, designing your routines, designing your default behaviors, so that the right actions become easier than the wrong ones. So that progress becomes the path of least resistance. So that your future self is protected from your present impulses. The ultimate power is not willpower. It is structure. Structure that removes decision fatigue. Structure that reduces emotional interference. Structure that makes discipline invisible. When discipline becomes invisible, success becomes inevitable. Not spectacular, not viral, not dramatic, but stable, sustainable, and deeply personal. Because at that point, you are no longer chasing a better life. You are simply living in alignment with who you decided to become. And the question is no longer whether you will succeed. The question becomes much simpler. Who are you training yourself to be when no one is watching?